The collective high from the world moving into the next millennium has faded. The banks still work, planes haven't fallen from the sky, and that big chunky computer in the living room can still log into AOL. And for 20-year-old Jennifer Dawn Lancaster and her two young daughters, Sydney and Monique, it was business as usual. At least it was, until 8 p.m. that evening. But let's wind the clock back just a little bit. Jennifer grew up in Highland Park, an area of Topeka, Kansas. She graduated from high school from Topeka West High School, and it's here when things began to take a turn for young Jennifer. According to Jennifer's mother, Vicki Lancaster, Jennifer got into a fair amount of trouble during her high school years. Vicki noted that Jennifer, quote, got in with the wrong crowd. Jennifer herself would become pregnant at age 19, giving birth to her first daughter, Sydney Smith, in 1999. She would then get pregnant again and give birth to her second daughter, Monique Smith, in the year 2000, just 5 weeks prior to her disappearance. Now, while Jennifer was pregnant with her second child, she picked up a job working at a local bar by the name of Remington's. And by all accounts, Jennifer was a good mother and hard worker, and she did the best that she could in order to make ends meet. And this is possibly why Jennifer decided to pick up another job at an adult entertainment club nearby called Baby Dolls. Jennifer's mother, Vicki, didn't like that she was working at an adult club, but she understood that there was little that she could do about it, as Jennifer was now an adult and could make her money however she so chose to. But it's important to note that Jennifer had only worked at Baby Dolls for a couple of days prior to her strange disappearance on the evening of May 12th. During the early evening of the 12th, Jennifer was at home with her two children. The trio lived in the basement of her mother's home, and everything seemed perfectly normal on that day. In fact, Jennifer and her kids were at their traditional family dinner that evening alongside her mother and sister, all of whom also lived in the home. Jennifer's mother, Vicki, stated that, quote, everything seemed fine, unquote, and that she didn't note any issues with Jennifer or her children. But around 8 p.m. that evening, Vicki, who had been out running errands after dinner, returned home to see Jennifer and her two daughters. Now, when she saw Jennifer, she was in the process of loading up her vehicle, a 1994 Jeep Cherokee. Vicki noticed that Jennifer was carrying several large see-through bags that appeared to be filled with various baby clothes and assorted quilts. When Vicki inquired about what Jennifer was doing, Jennifer simply told her mother that she was heading out to do laundry. Now, this was strange, especially this late into the evening, as any laundry would require a few hours to complete the amount of clothes and quilts that Jennifer had with her. A single mother, alone with a 1-year-old girl, and another only 5 weeks old at a laundromat didn't seem to make for an ideal situation. But it would get stranger still, as Vicky noted that they had a washer and dryer within the home that Jennifer could have easily used on that evening. But Vicky didn't press the issue, as again, Jennifer was an adult, and she had a boyfriend at the time. Because of this, Vicky assumed that Jennifer was simply heading over there to do laundry and perhaps spend the night with the kids. But unfortunately for Vicky, that small and brief interaction would be the last time that she ever saw or spoke with her daughter and grandkids. Now, Vicky would become concerned about Jennifer and the girls the following evening when she hadn't heard anything from them. On the evening of May 13th, Vicky phoned the police to report the trio missing. The police, for their part, took a missing persons report, but they also noted that Jennifer was an adult, and there was no legal requirement for her to keep in contact with her mother. As the police began their own investigation, Vicky looked into the home for any potential answers regarding the whereabouts of her daughter and her 2 children. Inspecting the basement of the home, Vicky noted that Jennifer had seemingly been planning and was in the process of leaving in secret. Vicky noticed that a number of items that Jennifer owned were already gone from her room, and she believes that Jennifer was slowly removing items and taking them to another location the week that she vanished. But the most troubling thing that Vicky discovered in her room was Jennifer's cell phone, which she had left behind the night she disappeared. Inspecting the phone showed that Jennifer had not made any calls using the phone in the week leading up to her disappearance. By all accounts, it seems that Jennifer was planning on leaving, and leaving quietly. And while people leave to begin new lives all the time, it seems that Jennifer may have been ill-prepared for it. You see, Jennifer had very little money inside of her checking account, and hadn't even taken her last paycheck from the bar that she had worked at with her. Jennifer also didn't have any credit cards, and most likely only had the cash that she had made from her new job at the adult bar that she had just started working at. Later, Remington's, the bar that Jennifer had worked at, even called and told Vicky that they had Jennifer's latest paycheck. Vicky told them to hold on to the check in the hopes that Jennifer may eventually show up to pick it up in order to cash it. But Jennifer never went to get it. Now, while the police didn't see Jennifer's disappearance as a top priority because of the short time missing and her age, they did begin a basic search, and surprisingly, got a hit on May 14th, the day after Vicky had reported her daughter missing. Police located Jennifer's 1994 Jeep Cherokee abandoned in a small parking lot belonging to an apartment complex. All of Jennifer's personal belongings were taken from the vehicle, including the 2 car seats for her daughters. Now, it's unclear if police or investigators obtained any witness reports regarding the vehicle, or if they had managed to secure any surveillance footage from the complex showing the vehicle entering the parking lot. And from here, the case would go cold. But while it was cold, it wasn't completely dead, as several weeks after Jennifer's disappearance, Vicky would receive a letter in the mail that still baffles her and investigators to this day. In her mailbox was a letter signed from the district manager of a steak and shake restaurant in St. Louis, Missouri. The letter contained 2 coupons and thanked Jennifer for filling out a comment card about the food and service she had received at that location. It seems that someone, perhaps Jennifer, filled out the card in order to let her mother and family know that she was still alive and on the move. Or, more disturbing, someone filled out Jennifer's information, knowing a mailer would arrive at Jennifer's home in some sort of sick practical joke. Still, in the year 2000, we were quite early in the days of the internet, and that kind of thing was far more rare than it might be today. Even someone outside of the Topeka, Kansas region would be hard-pressed to even know about the case at the time. Now, for her part, Vicky would contact that Steak and Shake location where the card was filled out. She hoped that she could at the very least check the comment card itself to see if it matched Jennifer's handwriting. Unfortunately, the card had been destroyed by the time Vicky got that thank you letter in the mail, and no one at the restaurant remembers anyone matching the description of Jennifer or her 2 children ever being there. Now, after that strange occurrence, Jennifer and her 2 children vanished completely, never to be seen or heard from again. There have been no sightings, no mentions of the trio, and Jennifer has never made an attempt in the 20-plus years since to reach out to any of her family. In a piece for the Capital Journal a few months after Jennifer's disappearance, her mother Vicky and the detective assigned to the case, one Terry Harris, gave an interview. In it, Harris noted that there was no evidence of any foul play and no known sightings of Jennifer or the girls. By all accounts, Harris noted, quote, "She appears to be a conscientious mother who wouldn't do anything to harm the children." Jennifer's mother, Vicky, told the reporter that Jennifer hadn't done anything illegal in leaving the way that she did, and that it was possible that she simply took the kids to start a new life, either alone or with someone. The thing that eats away her the most, though, seems to be the fact that Jennifer has never made any attempt to reach out to her family, or any of her friends from the area. And I know that you're wondering about the man in Jennifer's life. Well, police spoke with the biological father of Sydney Smith, who still lives in Topeka, but noted that he had not seen or heard from Jennifer since before she vanished. Now, a third man is still a possibility in this situation, as the paternity of Monique, the 5-week-old child, has remained in question. It's possible that Sydney's father is also the father of Monique, as the 2 kids are close in age, but it's also just as likely that another man fathered Monique. If this is the case, that man could have potentially encouraged or even forced Jennifer to leave home with him. Now, there's no evidence publicly available at this point about or even if this third man exists, but many believe it's a possibility that he was involved, at the very least, in getting Jennifer to run away with him, or, sadly, even taking the lives of her and her children. It's been 20 years plus since the disappearance of the trio, and over the years there has been one single reported sighting of Jennifer. That coming in August of 2000, when a trucker thought he had given a ride to Jennifer after later seeing a missing persons poster. He told investigators that she was alone at the time that he gave her a ride. But other than that brief potential sighting, not a single word or corroborated report about Jennifer and her two girls has surfaced. Vicky figured, at the very least, that Sydney and Monique's social security numbers would flag in the system, as they each had one and would need them if Jennifer ever enrolled the girls in school. But no luck. Either Jennifer homeschooled the girls, falsified their records, or, more devastating, there were no girls to even enroll in school. Today, Vicky still holds out hope for Jennifer and her two granddaughters, and the police are still investigating the case, getting in touch with Vicky every now and then. But as of now, Vicky simply does a lot of thinking. She wonders about Jennifer's car and whose vehicle the trio got into after leaving it behind. She wonders why Jennifer kept the keys to that car and also took her ID with her. She wonders if perhaps her two granddaughters were given up by Jennifer and if they were raised by another family, placing both in their early 20s at the time of this video. I could be a great grandmother and not even know it, Vicky stated. I want people to know that I really do care. All of her family cares. We'd just like to know if they're okay. Vicky went on to say, I'm praying that she met a nice guy. He adopted the kids, and they have a wonderful life. Vicky Lancaster and the Topeka police are asking for any person to come forward if they have any information that might shed any light onto what happened to Jennifer Lancaster and her daughters. Anyone with information is asked to call the Topeka Police Criminal Investigation Bureau at phone number 785-368-9400. Anonymous tips may also be made online at the link in the description below. Thank you for watching this episode of Case Files. Please like, comment, and share this video if you enjoyed our content. Not only does it help our channel grow, but it also helps to get this story and others like it out to more people and potentially to someone who can provide information and help close a case. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you again in the next video.